Scorpio, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. This is a message for Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. Bring a gentle touch. This is Virgo energy. You guys, I gotta say, this is quite surprising that this would actually come up. So, interesting. Interesting. Let's get to it, Scorpio. We're gonna leave that right there. This is a message for Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. So it's an energy reading. I'm going to leave that right there. Please take it where and how it resonates in your life, because it's your message. But know that I do create a new message for you guys every single week. So if you love the messages, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and then ring that notification bell so that you'll know when I upload your favorite content. If you need a personal reading, I do those as well. Sometimes you just need attention on you and on whatever you're struggling with at that time to really get to the nitty-gritty and specifics. And I do those. Just check out my website, bornwithoutboundariestarot.com, and you can book and pick the service that's right for you. You can book right over there. Scorpio. Oh, we're going to leave that there too. Got a lot coming out. We're going to leave that right there too. Got a lot coming out in the past. So clearly we've got to resolve some stuff. Hold on. There's a lot of earth energy in this reading, which tells me that you may need more structure in your life, or boundaries, maybe something that you really need to focus on right now. Because when earth energy comes up, especially for water signs, think of earth as the cradle or the cup that holds the water. It means that you need to start focusing on shaping yourself and building up some boundaries for whatever reason. So let's get into bring a gentle touch, dear spirit. This is love. But love in the broad sense and in the true sense of love is in gentleness, unconditional faith in somebody, caring for somebody, nurturing somebody, or needing to be nurtured and cared for yourself. This is Virgo energy, so it's a very healing. Focus on the healing. And then we have see the big picture that's come up face up. Let's talk about this Taurus energy, which is, it's not just about immediate pleasure. It's about long term. It's about, have I built something that's going to last? And am I it's almost like Scorpio, God is trying to draw your attention to getting yourself healthy long term. Trying to say that maybe what you've been doing so far isn't gonna be sustainable. So it's not like everything's breaking apart now, but now it's good time for you to start thinking long term. It could even be really wonderful in that something that you're building now will be able to last long term, or that it's going to inspire you to start thinking long term. And you know, this is really beautiful. I want this to last. This is something I want to last. And then we have life is speeding up. I took a peek at this and I was like, I don't even understand this one. We have all these antelope and four-legged creatures, but this one always reminds me of Gemini energy, because it's like starting to understand things and two things coming together and moving forward together. So either you're really figuring something out, or we're talking about solidifying and officializing you and another person, or it could even be a company or a job starting to come together to be able to wind things up and put things forward and start looking for forward. But it's for in the future, but it's like you're planning for something to last. So this is really great, really beautiful energy. Let's go all the way back here. We have surrender now and think on your feet. You guys, I think at this point in your life, you're sick and tired of the improv game. Right, that's why it's in the past, and that's why it doesn't look like it's something that you want to connect with again. It's like, I'm tired of always having to rush into something and think on my feet. You've done that. You've been there. This was fire energy. So there's a lot of Sagittarius energy, living in the moment, being spontaneous. Okay, sounds great. Maybe this is directly related to you didn't think it would be something that would end up being so long term. This was just something that you were playing around with. But that's long term. Like, it has definitely turned into something that is built to last, or that you want to start building it to last. Then we have these two. Yep. Lay a solid foundation. I don't know if you guys, let me just reposition so you can see. Lay a solid foundation and time for a beginner mindset. So yes, thank you, God. Just confirmed what I was basically asking. This was something that maybe you did not think of as long term, or this was, you were just rolling around, rolling with the punches, and then something switched. Something changed. Maybe a year ago, not too long ago, lay a solid foundation. This is Virgo energy now. It's like, no, I want to actually lay something down. I want to actually, maybe you're dealing with an Aquarius. I don't know. Maybe you're dealing with a lot of Earth. It doesn't really, the sign doesn't really matter to me. What matters is the mentality. Porcupine energy, time for a beginner mind. This is Aquarian energy, because it doesn't, it's surprising, it's odd, it looks a little awkward, right? And it's also, I want to do things my way. But it's saying this lay a solid foundation was a new mindset for you. It was something that you hadn't tried before, but something is now, it's inspired you. Something had inspired you to want long term, or something that was going to be a full-time commitment. And that's coming out now. That's happening now. Or you rethought something not too long ago, year, 2 years ago maybe at the most. You rethought something that you never thought that you'd have, because maybe you thought you were finished with it. But now it's almost like I'm thinking of it differently, which tells me that you either met somebody or got some opportunity that really changed what you thought you wanted. Now we have the future, which is time to let go. Now that's you. That's Scorpionic energy. So what does that mean? Kind of surprising. I've got to dig deeper into what that means. But what does that mean? Letting go of the heartbreak, letting go of the sadness, letting go of the hurt or suffering. It's like you're going to be able to let that go in the future, or your future depends on being able to let go of past disappointments so that you can actually have the solid foundation that you want. This can be very relieving energy, saying that, yeah, you're going to be able to put this past behind you, or put the fear or the sadness behind you. But time to let go of what? Why is this coming out in the future? Please make it clear for me. It's disappointments and how slow something has moved. I feel like we had this conversation last week. Go check out last week's reading. Yeah, okay. That's what it is. It's you. It's Scorpio. What came out first? We have slow and steady, right? The ace of, I'm sorry, not the ace. Sorry. The Knight of Pentacles, which could have been a job offer or something. Disappointment. Or just disappointment in the fact that things had taken their time and things had gone so slow. It's not that you were left with nothing, but you kind of pissed about it. You got to let that shit go, right? Because it's almost like, Scorpio, you could destroy everything by not letting it go. Or you wanted to take it upon yourself to, like, it's almost like it lost your interest, or you were pissed about it, or you were done with it because things hadn't moved at the pace that you wanted to, or maybe it's somebody that you're dealing with that had this mentality. But ultimately what Spirit is saying is, let that shit go. You got to let that shit go. Maybe something here has definitely changed. Where you were getting into the mindset of, oh, maybe I can make this work. Could have been that there's been a change, especially this week, where you're starting to realize, no, I can't. So maybe it wasn't, this experience altogether wasn't about you finding the perfect job or you finding the perfect relationship, but it was meant to change you so that you could be prepared for the perfect job or the perfect relationship. And I think that that's what God is trying to say, is you need to let go of thinking that this thing, this experience was your destiny. When in reality, your destiny was the lesson that experience was trying to teach you. And now that you know it, and now that you're prepared for something more, and now that you've changed because of it, let go of it, because it wasn't meant to be your long term. Now you open up your heart, you can receive the long term. Now, can this be within the same situation? Say the same relationship? Yes. But you have to then let go. What you'd have to let go of is the way that you've seen this relationship or the expectations you had for it. That's why let go of what you dreamed the future was going to be. Because the truth is, it was supposed to change you. That is an important message. Let's go to a moon card so we can get a little deeper into what's not so easy to see. Luck is on your side and prosperity lies ahead. See? So for all y'all who was all freaking out, Scorpio is getting bad news. No, it's not. It's not bad news just because it's not all freaking rainbows and butterflies. Like, I don't even know. Like, come on. Prosperity lies ahead. Prosperity lies ahead. Luck is on your side and prosperity lies ahead. 2 more moons. Now, interestingly enough, we're going to have a new moon in Pisces that's coming up. And then we have a new moon in Aries. And then, so in the 2 more moons, you're going to have a new moon in Taurus. So this could also be a timestamp as well for how you actually have to work things out. It's saying take aim. Like, what is it now that is clear to you that you know is what is right for you? Because now is the time to lock in and commit to that mindset and that trajectory. And that's going to take you to that time of prosperity in about 2 months from now. Or it's simply saying that luck is on your side, prosperity lies ahead. Good news this week is revealed to you about something that you thought was going to break your heart or disappoint you. So let's get more specifics. Which one is it, God? I don't know. I want to use my Golden Girls deck. My Golden Girls deck. Just so that you guys know, I am now tagging products in my videos because YouTube is finally allowing products that I actually use. So for those of you who always ask about my decks, I'm going to tag it under that little shopping bag icon. If in fact they have it taggable, so it's easy for you to get if you love them. This Golden Girls deck is one of my favorites, and I know it's on here. But we also have, I think, this Colette Baron Reed deck. I mean, the traditional Rider-Waite deck, stuff that I use all the time, the Moonology deck. Instead of putting it into the description box, now you can just go shopping. And I'll easily tag it if you guys are curious about these cards. 3 of Cups is here. No, you're going to have something to celebrate. With regards to what? Maybe a celebration or festivities, or you thought you were going to, like, maybe something you're planning. You're not going to be disappointed. I think you thought you were. You were not. 3 of Cups. Oh, the Devil is here. Ooh. Could have been overindulgence. Could be overindulgence. Decadence. Celebrating too much. Partying too much. But let's get back into. But what was this about? Clarify exactly. Okay, so that's what you need to let go of. this sense that everything was going to be all cake and all pretty and all perfect and all easy. That's not the truth. So it's almost like saying, see the reality of what the situation is for, the good and the bad. And recognize you got to let go of even the disappointment. Why are you disappointed? Are you disappointed for a good reason? Then let it go entirely. If you're disappointed just because it didn't match up with your expectations, let go of the expectations. Then you don't have to throw everything away. Then we have the Hermit, and the Empress is here. So it's about work moving forward and prosperity of work. And once again, Scorpio, it is telling you this prosperity is here for you. It's just you may have to work a little bit more or a little bit harder, and not even that much harder. And it's got to be about the work, not about the outcome. Because if you were doing this for that instantaneous gratification outcome, then of course you're going to be disappointed. But if you were doing it because you actually believe in the work or the healing, believe in the healing, it's going to lead you to a whole bunch of abundance and prosperity. So your perspective and your outlook on this really matters. And I need you guys to just take a second to think, what do I really want out of this? Did I want pleasure and just my fantasy fulfilled? Or did I actually know and see realistically what I was dealing with? And do I actually care about this enough to move forward? You have to detach from the fantasy and you have to root to the reality of wherever you are. And those of you who have the ability to root to that reality are going to be very, very happy with the outcome, because you're going to be actually living what you've prayed for. But to live what you've prayed for, it's not magic. It's manifestation, which means you have to put your grind on and commit yourself to something. This is actually a beautiful outcome. It's just the overindulgence and decadence and maybe even distraction of too much sweetness or too much pleasure could potentially fuck you up, because it could break your heart and make you think you've lost before you actually have. Because it doesn't seem, this is the happy news, it doesn't seem that you've lost at all, Scorpio. It just means that your perspective has to change on what winning and losing is. Like, getting what I want is very rarely winning. It's most often fooling yourself. Getting what I need and actually being happy is usually a conversation you have to have with God. And which means that it can't just be all about what you've dreamed or imagined. It has to be you're in constant conversation with where God wants to take you. So this is really getting back to the bare bones of the situation. And I feel honestly that there's this sense of relinquishing control enough to allow the guidance in that is going to enable you to really change your mind about how you see something. And happiness is a lot closer than you thought it was. Let's go to the extended. I'll see you guys there.